Welcome guys to Canadian Yoga here. So today's video will be a follow-up. Well, basically it'll be a video about the quarterback position, and in particular, I'm doing this video to talk about Aaron Rodgers. Apparently, it's been reported in the news that Aaron Rodgers is looking to move on, and he is uncertain about his future with my team, New York Jets. So, guys, there's an article that was published January 2nd, 2025, written by NFL.com. Before the last game of the season against the Dolphins, Aaron Rodgers, it says in the article, Aaron Rodgers admits uncertain future with New York Jets playing career ahead of Week 18. So let's take a look at this article here. Sunday concludes another forgettable season for the New York Jets, who are headed toward an off-season of change. Those changes could mark a departure for Aaron Rodgers, a possibility. The four-time MVP acknowledged Wednesday, Aaron Rodgers said, quote, "I'm just more resigned to the reality of the situation. I think there's more to be change here. And if I'm part of the change, then I just want to make sure everybody knows I have nothing but gratitude for my time here." While Aaron Rodgers' future is uncertain, he may not have won in football at all. At 41 years old, there's good chance Aaron Rodgers could retire, a reality from which he isn't shying away from. That would also mean this Sunday, that's this past Sunday, could be his final game in the NFL. Aaron Rodgers said, quote, "This game has given me a lot. I've given a lot back to it, and I'm thankful for it. I won't be thinking about that on game day. I'll be enjoying this. I'm just trying to stay in the moment, but of course, it's been a long career. I'm really proud of what I've been able to do, what I've been able to be a part of, what I've been able to accomplish, and I'm also looking forward to a nice mental and physical rest." Continuing the article, Rodgers has notoriously embraced the time afforded by the offseason, using plenty of it before making significant career decisions. This time around, though, it seems the power is out of his hands, at least as it pertains to the Jets. Rodgers simply didn't play well enough to convince anyone in New York should prioritize retaining him in 2025. If the Jets are truly going to turn the page toward the future, they're unlikely to do so with a 41-year-old under center unless he's solely a bridge quarterback. Rodgers said, quote, "I'm disappointed about the performance with myself and as a team, but really thankful for the opportunity. If I feel good coming back and they want me to make another run at this, that'd be fantastic. But I'm not naive to the situation we're in." Rodgers also needs to decide whether he wants to continue playing pro football regardless of how the Jets decide to proceed. He's enjoyed relative success in the last 6 weeks, and has also encountered some significant struggles in his last two outings. His body language in these disappointing performances also suggests he's not having much fun playing the game right now, which is understandable given how poorly the Jets have fared in 2024. Rodgers said, quote, "I need a break mentally." We likely won't know by next week whether Rodgers is going to play in 2025. We do know one truth, though. His 2024 Jets season ends Sunday. We'll see if that's the end of the road or maybe, another January conclusion. So, guys, that's the article from NFL.com. Now, not only have the Jets made a decision about Aaron Rodgers, but also for Davante Adams. So here it is, reported on yardbreaker.com. This article was written January 4th. That was Sunday, the same day. Jets reportedly have made Aaron Rodgers, Davante Adams decisions for 2025. Rumblings emerged shortly after New York Jets owner Woody Johnson dismissed general manager Joe Douglas in November, claiming that the Jets would part ways with noteworthy veteran players such as quarterback Aaron Rodgers and his wide receiver Davante Adams during the upcoming offseason as part of a franchise reset. There's now more information on why at least Rodgers could have a new NFL home later this year. Um, the Jets have said, quote, barring an unforeseen change, the Jets are expected to move on from quarterback Aaron Rodgers and wide receiver Davante Adams this offseason, News Stadium reported on Tuesday. Source tells us the relationship between owner Woody Johnson and Rodgers is irreparable. It's hardly a stretch to say that the Jets' experiment of acquiring Rodgers from the Green Bay Packers in 2023 has not gone on as hoped. He suffered a campaign-ending torn Achilles on the Jets' fourth offensive snap of his Green Gang regular season debut, allegedly failed to mentor former New York backup quarterback Zach Wilson as originally planned, and later skipped the club's two-day mandatory minicamp this past June because of a pre-planned trip to Egypt. More recently, Rodgers has played largely like a shell of his former great self throughout the ongoing season, through being replaced by backup quarterback Tyrod Taylor in this past Sunday's 40-14 blowout loss to the Buffalo Bills that dropped the Jets to 4-12. According to Pro Football Reference, Rodgers heads into Week 18 ranked 25th in the NFL among qualified players with a 48.3 adjusted QBR rating and a 20th with a 89.1 passer rating. On the campaign, over the past 16 years, the 41-year-old has tossed 24 touchdown passes and 10 interceptions. It makes sense the relationship between Johnson and Rodgers could be irreparable, considering it was reported in November that Johnson suggested to coaches after New York's 10-9 loss to the Denver Broncos in Week 4 that they bench Rodgers in favor of Tyrod Taylor because Johnson felt Rodgers' performance was holding the team back. Meanwhile, Russ Weekland and Oliver Salt of the Daily Mail sailed earlier this week that Rodgers is convinced that a move is to either the Cleveland Browns, Indianapolis Colts, Tennessee Titans, or Las Vegas Raiders would make the most sense in 2025 if he's released by the Jets in March. As for Adams, he could become a salary cap casualty and wouldn't have much reason to want to stay with the rebuilding Jets side if the club shows Rodgers, the 32-year-old's close friend, the door. Meanwhile, it remains to be seen if Rodgers will take a meaningful snap when the Jets host the Indianapolis Dolphins. I'm sorry. Just woke up and trying to get this done. They host the 8-8 Miami Dolphins this coming Sunday. It seems there's little reason he should want to risk his health during that matchup unless he plans to retire as soon as later this month. All right, guys. So that's it. That the Jets are planning to move on from Aaron Rodgers. I mean, who can blame them? And it's about time we decide that this experiment with Aaron Rodgers for the past 2 years has not worked out at all. Apparently, he's 41 years old, guys. He is definitely washed up. He is not the same quarterback that he was before. He's not the same, obviously not the same player. I mean, he is 41. He's not Tom Brady for sure. He can't do what Tom Brady did. So it's time for us to move on from him. But there's another article, guys, that I'm going to bring to you. This article just came out just yesterday, on the January 8th, just yesterday. Aaron Rodgers, apparently it's been reported in the news that Aaron Rodgers is planning to move on from the New York Jets. Aaron Rodgers, so this article is from SI SportsIllustrated.com. Aaron Rodgers could betray Jets sign $25 million deal with AFC powerhouse. So it says here, there's this could be speculation. Aaron Rodgers is planning to, let's see, the New York Jets and quarterback Aaron Rodgers seemed like a match made in heaven, especially after the Jets went out and acquired Devontae Adams from the Las Vegas Raiders. But nothing ever completely clicked for the Jets during Rodgers' 2-year tenure with the franchise. Here's what we're going to learn. This is what the article says Aaron Rodgers is planning to do. After an injury-riddled 2023 season, Rodgers and the Jets finished 5-12 in 2014. After such a solid season, both sides could be looking to part ways this offseason. Wow, so the same record we had in 2023, we have the same record this year in 2024. The same record in 2024, guys. This is, I'm not going to say it's ridiculous, but it's expected. We've had the same lackluster, just lackluster season. It's all, it's just fool's gold. Let's continue the article. Legendary sports writer Peter King recently suggested Rodgers could betray the Jets and sign elsewhere. King made the connection to the Mike Tomlin-led Pittsburgh Steelers on an episode of the Let's Go podcast. Peter King said, quote, "I think we have seen Russell Wilson hit a wall. Whether Mike Tomlin is even thinking about, I'm sure he's not right now, thinking about 2025. They got a playoff game coming up. But if I were the Pittsburgh Steelers, knowing that I've got Cam Hayward, TJ Watt, I've got guys on defense with their expiration dates not long in the future, I would want to come in and try to get a quarterback who can make me competitive with Baltimore and Cincinnati in 2025. That guy to me would be Aaron Rodgers." This is what Peter King had said. Louis Seal, if you are listening to this video, you're not going to be happy because Aaron Rodgers could potentially be coming to your team next year and possibly be joining Russell Wilson on the Pittsburgh Steelers with Mike Tomlin possibly being there. You're not going to be happy to see this. If you're listening to this video, you're not going to be happy to be hearing this right now. Let's continue the article. Rodgers could sign for around $25 million after his 2024 campaign. Pittsburgh could certainly afford the price. Coach Mike Tomlin has two starting quarterbacks on his roster, Justin Fields and Russell Wilson, but both signal callers are free agents at the end of the season. There's a chance the Steelers don't retain either player. Pittsburgh's best two players, TJ Watt and Cameron Hayward, are on the older side, and the Super Bowl window seems to be closing at Pittsburgh. Adding a quarterback like Rodgers to lead that young offense could be exactly what the Steelers need. It would be like having Wilson with more experience and a higher ceiling. So that's the article from on SportsIllustrated.com. Just came out yesterday on the New York Jets, about the New York Jets. Aaron Rodgers is looking to potentially, I'm not saying potentially, hypothetically, let's just be hypothetical. Aaron Rodgers could hypothetically move on from the Jets, from my team, to moving over to the Pittsburgh Steelers, who already have Russell Wilson and Tyrod Taylor. I don't know what to think about this, but if Aaron Rodgers moves on from my team, move to the Pittsburgh Steelers, that's great. We're actually picking up some new players in the draft. So we're going back to the draft. We're rebuilding our team, and that's exactly what we need to do. So I definitely, I gotta say, wish Aaron Rodgers the best on his retirement. He has not really led us anywhere. We haven't gone anywhere with Aaron Rodgers. It's best for Aaron Rodgers to retire. That's definitely my point. That's definitely my opinion. I think he should retire. It's over for him. He is washed up now. He can't return to the form of glory that he was at. It makes sense that we move on. He's got to focus on his future. Man, if Aaron Rodgers actually joins the Pittsburgh Steelers next season, it's I'm not going to hear the end of it from Boone Steele. Boone Steele, I feel sorry for you, man. I feel very, very sorry for you. Um, maybe it could work out with him being on the Pittsburgh Steelers, but I don't know about that. Let me know what you guys think in the comments section. I'm gonna be posting these articles in the description box below. So like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching. See you later.